Yes, welcome along to episode 17 of Upping The Ante in association with Bet365 with David Jennings and Johnny Dineen, counting down to the 2024 Cheltenham Festival. A fortnight to go, Johnny.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Getting closer now is right, yeah, I suppose.
And you are going into the 2024 Cheltenham Festival as a winning owner, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Johnny Dineen was amongst the winners at Naas on Sunday. Tell us more.
I had a little share in a syndicate with a horse that won in the second race in Naas. It was,
What's it called for starters?
Toonsavator.
Toonsavator.
It's in the syndicate run by Aubrey McMahon, and
First run.
it was his first run. Yeah, he was a good pick. Now I think they bought it out of somewhere in France.
Did
Anyway.
you pick it?
No, I did not have the clue about stuff like that. But no, he's good to pick. He's young starting off, and he's good. And like I was, to be honest with you, syndicates wouldn't be my cup of tea normally, but he's a fella that you can trust in that. And a lot of syndicates are hairy enough, I think. Anyway, some of the fellas, I wouldn't go near him anyway. But listen, it suits me in the current climate. Like with a gaggle of kids coming along, you can't afford to be having horses. So this little
You're gaggle of kids.
yeah. So you can. It suits me to have a little investment in something.
So are you saying you can't afford one on your own now? Is that what you're saying?
I'd prefer not to be having one on my own anyway at the minute. Do you know what I mean? I think it's you need to be going well to be real well to be having horses. I think anyway. So at the moment I don't have anything on my own anyway. So I have a share in this one, and I have a share in another horse that's coming on stream called Adela Icon. That Aubrey picked out of Harry Kelly's has gone to Willie Mullins as well, and that'll win races in the summer anyway, without a doubt, definitely. Okay. So look, it's a cheap thing. It's no different than maybe it's a little hobby, and it's like buying a jet ski or something like that. Do you know what I mean? You know, that's the kind of cost it's involved. It's not major anyway. Do you know what I mean? So it's a little hobby, and it's not, you're not in it to make money, but there is a good bit of fun out of it at the same time. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All our jet ski enthusiasts will know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
I didn't back it. No, that's the problem. But look, I was happy it won.
You got the prize money in you.
Yeah, it should have.
Did you get 80% of the prize money yourself?
No, I've only 5p and 5% of it anyway. So, but it's about 20 people involved. I think it's 20, that kind of a number involved. It's, look, I didn't go, and I probably should have gone really. But look, I'll go some other day now at the same time.
Well, you might have only got 5% of the prize money, Johnny Dineen. But by God, you won a lot of prize money in betting on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
The winners left, right, centre, up, down, here, there. If you read the Racing Post on Saturday, and if you watched Up in the Ante last week, you'll know, Johnny, you got very, 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 very little wrong at the weekend.
Yeah, I got a few winners all right, but do you know what? I can't tip a big prize winner. I can't tip one. And I tipped a few horses even at the weekend. Like they were tipped one at 10. It was 10 to 1 and finished up 3 to 1. Nowhere. Finished up, tipped horse 12 to 1. Two horses around 12 to 1. They were 12 the night before. Finished up 4 to 1 and 6 to 1. Nowhere. I can't find one of those. You know what I mean? So I have a lot of sympathy for the likes of fellas like Price-wise and Thomas DeCal and Paul Gill who go for them races. Because I'd say if
Price-wise, who was amongst the winners on Saturday.
I'd say if I was going for those races constantly, I'd never back a winner.
Right.
So I just can't find them. Cannot find a 10 to 1 chance.
But you're in good form, and are you in front now for 2024?
I am, just about. But as I said, no, I just can't hit a winner at a big price, yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll try to find one this week, maybe, Johnny.
Yeah, look, I have the odd time, but the last few months it is all reasonably short price horses. I can get a few into win, all right.
But you are on Ballyburn of 14s for the Supreme, so that could change in a fortnight's time. It's 2 weeks to the Cheltenham Festival, so we better get on with the show. Johnny Dineen. All Racing Post content, yes, all Racing Post content is going to be free to all our customers on the Racing Post app. Unbelievable scenes, Johnny Dineen, unbelievable scenes. Yes, it's free. So you even get Price-wise himself, Mr. Tom Siegel. Is he your idol?
Yeah, it'd be one of them.
Oh, not just the idol. One of Johnny's idols, yeah. One of my idols too. Price-wise, imagine getting Price-wise tips for free. This is a one and only event. All you've got to do is log into the Racing Post and you can see everything for free. So as ever, we're going to kick off with our questions from the crowd. No, we're not. We're not going to kick off with our questions from the crowd this week. Oh no, Johnny Dineen.
Is that right, Jay?
We're going to kick off with festival teams this week. We're going to mix it up. We want to keep people on their toes, okay? So we're going to kick off with our festival teams, and really the reason for doing this, Johnny, is to prove to everybody just how good you are and why we're paying you these mega bucks to be standing here. Because about time we got some recognition for this list, Johnny Dineen, okay? So here it is behind us here now, okay? First of all, Ballyburn, 14-1. 14-1, yes, 14-1. Back in January, Johnny Dineen, when everybody thought he was going for the longer trip, maybe he still will, who knows? But 14-1 for the Supreme Novice Hurdle, now 11-8. You must be absolutely chuffed with yourself.
I haven't enough on that.
Think of the viewers, though, Johnny. Think of the viewers.
Yeah, look, no, it's one of the better ones I picked anyway. To be fair, yeah. Look, it still has to run there. Then it has to win as well. It's like the only thing.
If he turns up, does he not just win? No.
It's automatic with most people, as far as I can see. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That if he turns up, he wins either way. No, I do fancy him, but like, horses are horses. I mean, horses can do anything in a race. You know what I mean? So you never know. Like he'll be a shade of odds on, but he's not like, you know, there's no certainties in these kind of races. Look, I would fancy him to win, but you wouldn't collapse if he didn't win at the same time.
Well, you have managed to get somehow, I don't know how you've done this, because I've been doing this show for years. I was better at the start. I'm not quite as good now. That's an understatement. But you've managed to find bankers, right, at big prices. So you've got Ballyburn here at 14-1. Fact to File at 7-1 for the Brown Advisory. I took a chance earlier on in the series. I went for him in the National Hunt Chase at a massive price.
Yeah.
You were right. You got him at 7-1. You probably just got him at the right time, obviously, before he was so impressive at the Dublin Racing Festival.
Yeah, look, it's a bit of a guess up, and it's a kind of educated guess. And sometimes you land them in the right races, and other times you don't. So I have a few that are in, like, I have, what's that horse of Harry Fry's again? Gidley Park.
Yeah.
That's going to be in the wrong race by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Like Ballyburn might still be in the wrong race, so you don't know.
No, Johnny, this is the bit where we're plugging you.
I know, yeah.
You don't take the good out of it, right?
And on top of that, they must win then after that, you know what I mean? But it's all about, like, I think Ante-Post is like educated guessing. That's basically what it is.
Okay, and Dino Blue, or Dino Blue as some people call her, 11-2 for the Mayor's Chase. For many people, after Constitution Hill, she's almost the biggest banker.
Yeah, she's a great chance. I wouldn't consider her certainty or anything like it at the same time, but she's a good chance. She can't get much shorter than she's now all the same. Like, can she? Like, I don't think so anyway. Look, she still has to go and get the trip, and look, she has to get it done. She's a good chance. She's a very good chance. Of course, she has. Is right. Yeah.
Okay, and Manila Indo just a couple of weeks ago, 9-2. Steel now at 9-2, now 9-4, half the price.
Yeah, Manila Indo has a good chance too. All those horses have good chances. You'd be fairly sick if at least one of them didn't win anyway. You know what I mean? That kind of way. So look, no, as I said, I haven't enough on them now. That's the only problem with some of them anyway. And the ones I have the most on are actually the gammy ones, I think. Really.
Okay, Johnny. This is not going well, Johnny. This was where we were supposed to be singing your praises.
Yeah, but
you're bringing yourself back down to her.
I know, but that's it. Sure, as I said, like, I've had good positions in Ante-Post before and not won now to say. But I've also had good positions and won now at the same time. You know what I mean? So, like in different races, not just Cheltenham, other meetings as well.
And stay tuned, because very quickly, we're going to go through my list. But Johnny has his 9th selection for the Cheltenham Festival. So you see that list there behind us. You see all the bankers at big prices. Ballyburn at 14s, Fact to File at 7s, Dino Blue at 11-2, and Manila Indo at 9-2. He's going to be adding to that list in about a minute's time, I'd say. Johnny, you're going to be adding to that list. Don't tell
I won't
me yet.
know, but I think the one thing that made a huge difference to me anyway was only having to pick 10, because 20 was just too much.
Yeah.
And you were really forcing their weeks trying to pick them up with a horse that you genuinely knew you didn't really think it could win at the same time, but you're just doing it for the sake of it. Whereas this format of only having 10, there's only 28 races, and there's probably 4 or 5 races that you can't pick a horse in. Even early, like you can't pick Constitution Hill, and you can't do this, and you know what I mean. So, and then the horses stake a claim for a race, you can't pick that. I mean, I can't pick Sir Gina, no, he's too short. So that's another race gone. And then the handicaps, you don't even know the weight. So the fact that they brought it from 20 to 10 is a big help, a huge help now, yeah.
Okay. A quick scan through my list. Ashra Diamond, tipped up here on the show at 9-1, is now 9-2 for the Mayor's Hurdle. Obviously, probably needs Lossiemate to underperform, but she has a chance. She's a fairly talented mare. We know she stays, and she's a Grade 1 winner, so hopefully Ashra Diamond can run a big race. Dice Ardinos, tipped up here at 8-1, is now 4-1 for the Mayor's Novice Hurdle. little bit unlucky that she seems to have bumped into the best race of the whole festival with Brighter Days Ahead and Jade de Grugy in there. But you never know what's going to happen. I think she's the fastest of them. Whether she's the best of them, I don't know. But I do think she's the fastest, Di Sartinos. And as you can see, in Dowie, it's slightly shorter for the Boodles than when I tipped them up. So is Foxy Jacks. And let's be clear about it. 20-1 for the plate. We did a preview on Friday night. Gavin Cromwell was on the panel, and his charity bet for the Cheltenham Festival was let's be clear about it for the plate. So that could go off considerably shorter. And my trump card for the Albert Barta, tipped up at 50-1, is now 20-1 with Bet365. So Johnny, obviously, you know, you're Premier League, right? I'm like Maidstone United, right? I'm going a little bit lower down, right? But I think hopefully one of them might click. You never know.
Exactly. I mean,
you
can one winner will get you in profit, 20-1 or 40-1 shot. You know, you never know. The horses are funny. That you could be in a good position and finish up have no winner, and you could be in a bad position and pull one out of the fire. So
yeah, that's what I'm hoping, Johnny. I'm hoping to pull one out of the fire. But now it's the moment you've been waiting for. Who is going to join Ballyburn and Factifile and Dino Blue and Manila Indo? This week, Johnny Dineen, you are going for a handicap. Take it away.
Yeah, look, I'm going to go for a horse that there's been money for, and I'm after missing the boat slightly.
But you're on the boat, I'd say. You've definitely backed this horse.
No, I haven't yet. No, but I haven't. But I will be backing him now. I will go for him now. All right. I'm going to go with Cribilly for the
Trusted Trader Plate.
That plate race. Yeah, I just think that he's in off 140, and like considering that he started the season off 134. And that he was going to beat Ginny's Destiny and has beaten Timurus and Exeter. I think they did well to get him only up £6 now myself. He's 7-1. I think he can go off a good bit shorter than that.
How short?
I could see him in 7-2. Wow. I genuinely think now, and this wouldn't be my kind of races normally. I genuinely think all he needs to is avoid bad luck, and he will win.
Johnny, we've been here before now. Certain Grand National.
I know
once upon a time,
but I wouldn't have obviously not put him as certainly. I do think if he puts in a good round of jumping, and it doesn't get hampered or anything, I do think he'll win.
Johnny, it's a 20-something runner handicap.
I don't care. Wow. I don't care. Like if Ginny's Destiny, it has to be a 155 horse at this stage to have any chance in the turners. Yeah. This fella's in off 140. Would have beat him, giving him a pound. This horse fired in here, like absolutely fired in off 140. All he needs is to avoid bad luck.
Is he the good thing out of the handicaps?
I think so, yeah. I think so.
Is he one of your strongest fans the whole week?
He would be because I think in these handicap chases, you'll have a load of horses that have no chance in handicap chases. I think in Cheltenham, handicap chases are easier to solve than handicap hurdles. I always thought that anyway, because you have a load of dead wood in handicap chases. Horses
Willie Mullins can't win handicap chases. We know that by now.
But there's so many exposed horses in handicap. Like I do fancy a horse, an unexposed horse will win the Ultima. And I do fancy an unexposed horse will win this kind of race. Maybe not so much the Kim Muir, that's more, you could have a hardened horse win that. But I think handicap hurdles are really tough.
And you said to me earlier on in the season, you said handicaps at Cheltenham, especially the handicap chases, you need a novice.
That's what I'd be going for, yeah, exactly. Like to me, this is a 154 horse masquerading like as a 140. Do you know what I mean? I just think that if he gets a bit of, obviously he can make mistakes, so you can be shuffled out of races, and you need a bit of luck. And you've seen horses that have looked attractively handicapped not win these races before, but I'd be taking my chances anyway, that if this guy does things right, he will win.
He's on form today, isn't he? There you go, Crebley at 7-1 with Bet365 for the Trust a Trader play. And I'd advise you to take that 7-1, because if you listen for the last couple of minutes, you'll know that he could be 7-2 or shorter. It's Crebley for the Trusted Trader plate. Is Johnny Dineen's latest tip for the 2024 Cheltenham Festival. So it was worth starting with that, wasn't it? So we'll kick on now with our questions from the crowd. Yes, get your questions in to Upping The Ante at racingpost.com and get your videos in if you want to appear on the show. Just like this week's first questioner has, it's Sean McKenny.
Hi Dave and Johnny, my name's Sean McKenny. Love the show, think the two is absolutely fantastic. But the old tipping hasn't been going very well this series, so I'm going to set you a challenge. Can you give me 4 tips for handicaps at Cheltenham this year, but the price has to be double figures or more?
So kind of a A backhanded compliment there, Johnny. He said he likes the two of us, but he's giving out about our tip. And why, I don't know. We've just showed you the list, Sean. And your midweek treat and charity bet won last week. We're both in profit in the charity bet competition. So, Sean, I don't know what we're supposed to do, Johnny.
Yeah, a tough taskmaster.
Yeah, tough taskmaster. Glad he wasn't correcting my copybooks in school. Okay, so here we go. He wants 2 from each of us in the handicaps that are 10 to 1 or bigger, okay? So, here we go. I'll kick off first, okay?
Yeah.
Day 1, Ultima handicap chase. Ireland have a rotten record in the race. Dún Dura was the last Irish train winner for Tony Martin and the lads in Dundee. Unbelievable Ruby Walsh ride in 2006. I think Johnny Dineen, 18 years on, we're going to win it again.
Right.
If we get good ground for Am I Right, he's a bit of a guilty pleasure of mine. But just watch the way he travelled through a handicap chase back in October. Rachel Saddle slipped, I think, but he just travelled so perfectly. He just didn't go quick enough for him. Whacker Clam won the race, a stablemate. I thought he ran really well in the Paddy Power at Leopardstown over Christmas as well. And good ground, Ultima, I think he'll be hard to beat. I think he's a big price around about 16 or 20 to 1 with Bet365. So Am I Right is kicking us off and our lucky 15. Johnny, you're up next.
Yeah, I'll go same stable. Horse called Waterford Whispers.
What race?
He's in the Martin Pipe. He's only in one race, and whether he'll get in or not, I'm not sure. But at this stage, it's like none under no bet stuff anyway, isn't it? So look, if he does get in, I think he's a horse with a bit of an upside to him. He's like a novice in a race like that as well, with not many runs. And I like his form, Answer the Cave form. I think that's real strong form. I think Answer the Cave is a good horse too. And like that was the other horse that I was half contemplating putting up. Answer the Cave, either one of them. I think one of them will have a big say in that race. They've run against each other in farriers. There's very little between them. And I like the fact that Answer the Cave is ridden by the young fella that has been riding him all the year. He'd be still on him. He's eligible to ride him in this race. But Justin Waterford might have slightly more improvement in him. He's less exposed than Answer the Cave. But I'm going to go with him. I think he's about a 1-2-8 horse over here. They'll surely give him a little nudge up as well. So he'll be into early 130s, and I'd say he's very, very dangerous off of that kind of a mark now. Yeah.
Okay. Waterford Whispers in the Martin Pipe. My next one, who I've put up on the show, I'm very keen in the Dowie in the Boodles for Gordon Elliott and Jack Kennedy. He's got a mark of 134. That might sound high, but I think he could be a graded horse. I think this is a proper horse. To me, it's funny, Johnny, you're on about the Boodles being necks and heads and they all finish in a big heap. I genuinely think the Boodles has almost developed into a 2-horse race now. Lark in the Morning obviously could be absolutely spectacularly well handicapped off the low 120s, but I think this guy is good, and I think if Lark in the Morning has a chink in him, I think this fella will expose it. He was very impressive at Naas last time. He's been trained for the race. Gordon Elliott knows what it takes to win. He's got a terrific record. They're the two trainers with such a good record in the race as well, Joseph O'Brien and Gordon Elliott. Won it plenty of times. So, yeah, I think in Dowie, a 10 to 1 for the Boodles. So we've got Am I Right, Waterford Whispers in Dowie, and our final selection for Sean is?
Yeah, the final one I'm going to go with is in the Grand Annual. Gavin Cromwell was quite sweet in this the other night. He was mentioning, even though he's got the favourite in the race, My Mate Mozzie, who could possibly run in the Arkle as well, so he's not even certain to go for the Grand. He mentioned Pat Theroux, and I agree with him. I think Pat Theroux is dangerous in that race. Now,
does he finish strong enough?
I think his jumping is his problem. That he gets himself behind by being too slow at the fences. But if he did happen to hit a going day, and like Cromwell has a good record here at this meeting too, really good record, and horses can like perform better than they have been doing, I don't think he has a lot to improve to have a big say in it.
And the one thing that there's a bit of a misconception out there, I know they go fast, but the fence in Cheltenham are easier than any fences Pat Theroux would have been jumping in Ireland this season.
Probably, yeah. Look, I backed him the last day, and at no stage did you really think he was going to win. Or maybe before the home, coming to last, I said he might, but he did really well to get us close to even to challenge, considering the way he was jumping. Because I'd say jumping about the fourth last year, about 1 or 2 behind him is all. But he got a good ride that day from Sean Flanagan, who is riding well actually. Sean Flanagan riding very well. But look, he's not a horse that back each way, because I could see him clocking the fence early and being out of it. But win only, I do think if he can win, all he needs is one day to get into a rhythm, and he'll be thereabouts.
There you go, Sean. That's our lucky 15, our 4 horses for the handicaps at Cheltenham at the moment. It is Am I Right in the Ultima, it's in Dowie in the Boodles, it's Waterford Whispers in the Martin Pipe, and it is Pat Theroux in the Grand Annual. If they all win, I think we can all retire. Our second question this week comes in from Steve Duggan. And Steve wants us to pick out the best British hopes. Yes, Johnny, this is the question you've been waiting for.
Right.
The best British hopes in the novice hurdles and chases at the Cheltenham Festival. And will any of them actually win? Okay, so the best British hope. So if any viewers want to back a British horse in the novice hurdles and chases, these are your best chances, according to myself and Johnny. Kicking off in the Supreme.
Yeah, I think their best chances is definitely Jericho de Repine. I would say so. The only other one that might be Taylor Dineen, but Jericho de Repine, like his form was franked, I suppose, from Doncaster with Fiercely Proud and to some extent anyway on last weekend. So look, he's there with Henderson as well. You know what I mean? And McMahon, them colours are dangerous in races. So look, I don't think he'll win, particularly if Ballybourne turns up. But he's not completely out of it.
Could he be the plunge horse in the race? Like, he's drifted out to quite a big price now.
Oh, there'll only be one horse back if Ballybourne runs. They'll bet 7 or 8 bar 1, I'd say, won't they? Like, I mean, but if Ballybourne doesn't run, they'll probably bet 4 to 1 the field, and he'll be one of the favourites. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Jericho de Repine. Teller the name is talented, but just he's a bit hot and cold, isn't he?
Well, I think his form is like he's a fairly good horse, but like he's a good horse. Of course, he's a good horse, but he's a bit defined here at the same time.
The one thing I do like about him, he hits the line hard when he's on a going day. I know he's had a few blips, but when he's on a going day, he does finish out his races.
He still got beaten by Django Boy, no excuses in
first round though.
Yeah, but like then he was run over in Aintree, and I don't know. He to me he's not very. I think Jericho de Repine is more dangerous than Taylor.
Okay, so that's the Supreme. They won't be winning it, no.
I wouldn't have thought so, no.
Okay, moving on to the Bearing Bingham.
The Bearing Bingham, like it looks like
handstands.
Gidley Park is going for the Albert Bartlett for some reason. I can't understand that, but anyway, he is. Handstands is probably the shortest priced horse of the English ones. Don't know. I think he's up against it now myself. I think he's up against it big style, to be honest.
Anything else for us in that? No.
There isn't really, no. Do you know what I mean? The bulk of the horses in that race are all Irish ones,
Yeah,
like, you know.
yeah, absolutely.
Like it looks like to me, Handstands is probably the shortest priced horse in the race, and I'd say he's well up against it now myself.
Okay, yeah, I'd agree. The Albert Bartlett, Captain Teague must have some sort of a chance here.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Captain Teague definitely.
You've been in and out of love with this horse throughout the season.
He has a chance, yeah, because there's nothing clear sticking out in this race either. He's going to be single figures anyway, and maybe Gidley Park's a chance. I don't know. I'd be disappointed.
Who would you prefer between Captain Teague and Gidley Park of those two in the Albert Bartlett?
Like Gidley Park has to, I don't understand why he's running in a tree.
He looks a stare, doesn't he?
He does, but like, if Ballybourne didn't run in the 2.5 mile race, it's wide open. You know what I mean?
But sure, if you're fancying him to run really well in the 2.5 mile race at Ballybourne doesn't run, surely you must fancy him to run a big race in the Albert Bartlett.
Yeah, will he get the trip is another thing. Like, it's not a certainty, is it? It's far from it, in fact. Like, I would say Captain Teague will definitely, like, you put it this way, if they ran over 2.5 miles anyway, I would sell out on Gidley Park to beat Captain Teague anyway. I wouldn't be so sure. He looks like a horse with a lot of class to me. I wouldn't be so sure that he wants 3 miles in an outright slog. I'd be like, put it this way, I'd fancy him more in the Ballymore if Ballybourne won in it than in the Albert Bartlett. I wouldn't back him in the Albert Bartlett. I would say Captain Teague is a more solid horse in the Albert Bartlett. And he has a chance, but I wouldn't say he win now either.
And we're going to include the Mayor's Novices Hurdle here just to try and give me a bit of confidence, but you're probably going to pick Golden Ace. Surely Dice Artinos is the best chance of a British train winner in any novice hurdle at the Cheltenham Festival, Johnny Dineen. Surely.
Yeah, look, she's probably going to be the shortest price anyway, for starters, yeah.
Didn't ask you that.
I do think Golden Ace is dangerous at the same time.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I do. I like Golden Ace. And I even give that horse of Harry Durham's a little chance as well if the ground was good.
Queen's Gamble?
Yeah. Do you know what
I've knocked her out of the way already. Market raising.
Yeah. And you beat the other one in Aintree, sure.
You did.
Yeah. So you on form, you should probably confirm.
What's putting you off Dice Artinos?
Look, I think it has a chance, but that's all. I think it's an open race. I mean, there's huge talk behind Brighter Days ahead, isn't there? Like,
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's a real hype horse, and like Jade, it's a hot race though, isn't it? Like, it's a hot race.
Yeah.
Do you know what? One thing I always found as a bookie though, when there was regularly it used to happen. 4 or 5 horses really well backed in bumpers even. You know what I mean? They wouldn't be placed. there'd be some screws come up and win the races. You know what I
It
mean?
reminds me, do you remember the champion hurdle with Apples Jade, Bouvardaire?
Yeah,
There was
yeah.
a big three. Who was it? Apples Jade, Bouvardaire and Mellon, was it? No?
Mellon, I'd say, yeah,
And
yeah.
the three of them, it was building up to this big race, and then Espoir Delaine come and beat them all.
Beat them all, yeah. That can happen in these kind of races. Look, I think Golden Ace is a chance.
Okay.
I do. It's some sort of a chance. But look, if you were going to the gallows, like, you'd pick Dice or Dinas. You know what I mean? If one of them,
Which I will be,
to
if
save
she
your
doesn't
life,
win.
you'd have to go the shorter one.
Okay.
Then, you know what I mean? But I do think Golden Ace will run well. I'll be surprised if she's not in the first 3 or 4 anyway.
Okay, perfect. Golden Ace, and she's a big price, 16-1. Okay, moving on to the novice chasers. British hopes in the Arkle rest with JPR1.
JPR1, and again, like, I looked at his form, and he, even though he's a superb jumper, smashing looking horse, his form is a good bit below what's going to be required
He
normally.
can't win, can he?
I think he has a chance, though. I do. I like him. I like
Chance
JPR.
is your word of the day, Johnny. Everyone has a chance.
Yeah. That's well. They all have chances, I suppose. Do you know what? If JPR won, and I know you couldn't do this, but if they had kept him back to Aintree, I would like, and fresh. And I'd love him around Aintree. Okay. I could see him still winning Aintree, even running in Cheltenham. But there's only one Cheltenham, and they've no choice but to go. And I wouldn't blame him for going either. I do still think he's a chance. I think he'll run well now at the same time.
He's a chance.
I'd back him to finish in front of a good few Irish horses at the same time.
That's the
Like,
Arkle.
I would back him to finish in front of Found 50.
Would you back and finish him?
Yes, I would.
Okay, we'll have a coffee. I'll take Found 50.
Right, okay, yeah.
Moving on to the Turners. Now, actually, we could have a British winner in the Turners because potentially the top 3, or certainly the top 3 or 4 in the market, maybe the top 3 or 4, the top 3 or 5, are likely to be British trade, because we've got Ginny's Destiny, we've got my own personal fancy now, Grey Dawning, and you've got Iroko, who is back in the mix as well. So you've got 3 strong chances, Johnny Dineen. I would be very much with Grey Dawning, especially if the ground turns up on the soft side. I think Harry Skelton will swerve the clash with Factifile and Stay Away Faye and the Brown Advisory. I think he'll come here, and I think he could potentially win.
Yeah, I like Grey Dawning. He's a good horse. Yeah, 2.5 miles. Just a bit further, you'd be happier, wouldn't you? I think.
Yeah.
He's a strong stayer at 3 miles as well.
But he would have beaten Ginny's Destiny
he would.
over the course and distance.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't fancy that at all. Ginny's Destiny anyway. I don't. I just think that.
Paul Nichols says at his open day the other morning, he said it's his best chance of a winner at the meeting.
Yeah, look, he said it's a favourite or something. You know what I mean? Which it won't be, even a favourite.
You don't think he'll go off favourite?
Not a hope. No, not a hope. Grey
Even
Dawning,
after stage star last year?
he won't be favourite. Ginny's Destiny. No chance. If Grey Dawning,
favourite at the minute.
But he won't be favourite when the time comes.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's all I can
Okay.
say.
We get you.
Grey Dawning will be favourite if he runs.
Okay.
He will definitely be favourite if
What
he
about
runs.
Iroko?
Iroko is a horse that is coming out of a knob prep, isn't he? Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'd be
Very, very shrewd friend of mine. This is banker of the meeting, Iroko.
Yeah, look, he's a horse that you wouldn't collapse if he won. There's no doubt he's a good horse, but you have to say that he's coming from an ordinary prep, and okay, he beat Golden Sun, killed Big King. He won it well in Warwick. Good test of a jumper too. Now, he was very impressive. He was, but he's coming here after being like half out for the season, and now he's back with only one run, no run 4 or 5 months.
Your nose is turning there.
Yeah, he's short enough now, I think, at the same time.
So who are you picking then as the best British hope in the Turners?
Oh, without a shadow, the grey horse, Grey Dawning.
Okay.
Without a shadow, yeah.
And now your old pal in the Brown Advisory, Stay Away Faye, has to be, Johnny.
Well, if Grey Dawning turns up in the 2.5, I'd fancy Grey Dawning to beat Stay Away Faye too.
in the Brown Advisory, if they ran against one another,
absolutely, yeah.
I wouldn't know.
Would you not?
I think your man is solid and stays and keep going, and he'll put it up to Factifile. He definitely will.
Yeah, I don't know. In fact, the fight is ridiculous price, I think. Now, to be honest, he's pure on hype, and even money. Like how is he? He's very, very short. Like, maybe let him.
You don't care. You're on at 7-1.
Yeah, but I know, but he is very tight. I wouldn't touch him now anyway. Not a hope.
He could be a superstar.
Oh, he could be, yeah. But you're listening to people who very often are right at the same time.
Who, you?
No, I'm talking to fellas from the yard and that say that are really talking him up and that, and like, he's not entitled to be as short as he is on form, in my opinion, anyway. But
is Stay Away Faye the best British hope in the Brown Advisory?
if Grey Dawning runs, no.
Okay.
No, not if Grey Dawning runs. I'd fancy Grey Dawning to beat Stay Away Faye. They've run against each other already in Exeter. But definitely Grey Dawning needed a run that day and was running all over Stay Away Faye at one stage. Now Grey Dawning battled back and won.
Stay Away Faye beat Grey Dawning, yeah.
Or Stay Away Faye battled back and beat a horse of Joe Tizers was in the middle of them there in black and white colours. I can't even remember his name, but he disappointed anyway. So, but I like Great Dawning. I do. I think he's dangerous.
Okay, so that's 7 races, Johnny Dean. 7 races. We're not going to include the Triumph because it's actually not a novice hurdle, bizarrely. Okay, 7 races we've discussed. Of those 7 races, how many winners are Britain going to have?
Definitely no more than 2 anyway. Definitely
2 or under.
Yeah, maybe one. You'd say 1. They'd have to pick
Turners.
That looks the best one, yeah.
Turners.
That looks the best. Like, whether you don't fancy Ginny's Destiny or not, he's still there with a chance at the same time. Like, I mean, of course he can win. I don't fancy him, but that don't mean he can't win. Of course it doesn't. Look, that's their best mathematical chance anyway, isn't it? The Turners. They could have, as you say, they could have 3 or 4 of the first 4 or 5 in the betting, you know, that kind of way. So, and there's not, like, they're on about maybe Facile Vega having to do work or something, proper work before he's even going to Cheltenham. So the Irish mightn't have a big representation in that race at the same time. Yeah, you'd have to say the Turners is their best chance, without a doubt.
We're giving you 1. We're giving you 1. That's the best British hope. It's in the Turners, potentially Grey Dawning, but you've got Iroko and Ginny's Destiny as well. And that is the British hopes in the novice hurdles and chases at the Cheltenham Festival, which is only a fortnight away. And our final question this week comes in from Kevin Price. And Kevin wants us to pretend that it's the first show of next season's series, Johnny. And he wants to know, what's our first tip going to be for the 2025 Cheltenham Festival? Lord, holy God, Mother of Divine, merciful Jesus. We haven't even got there in 2024, but we're already looking ahead to 2025. So it's the first show, Johnny.
Yeah.
We're back in November. How was your summer?
Oh, great.
Great, yeah. Are you up or down for the year? Cheltenham. Jeez, I can't believe they ran Ballyburn and the Albert Bartlett. Jesus.
Yeah.
Back to Violet him up to the height, did he?
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah.
Come here, Dice Sardinos first road, wasn't she? Could she win a champion hurdle?
She might, yeah. She might.
Right, here we go. We're in November, second week of November. You'll be back next year.
Oh, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
Jeez, that didn't sound great, did it? We'll have to do a bit of coax.
If I win enough in Cheltenham, I won't be back.
Okay, here we go. First show in the new series. We have to find a selection for the 2025 Cheltenham Festival. Who are you picking?
Right now, I'll give you 2.
Right. Yeah, well, we can't do it in November.
Yeah,
so
okay,
right now,
exactly. Right now, I definitely could pick 2. I could pick more even. Without a shadow, Sergino for the Arkle.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd love to know what price he is. What price would you say he should be?
7s?
Ah, geez, stop.
What would you be wanting?
He has to be more than that.
Oh, more?
More.
Oh,
7s. She's even money to win the Triumph. If he doesn't win the Triumph, he has no chance in the Arkle. That makes him 3-1 chance for the Arkle.
All right, you give me about a second to think about it.
Yeah. I think you'd have to
12.
That'd be something about nearer it anyway.
Sorry.
Yeah. I don't think it's a 7-1 shot now. But maybe with the prices they go Ante-Post nowadays, that's probably what they quote
you.
you.
Imagine Ballyburn and step up and trip like so.
Yeah, but I just think it's Arkle written all over him anyway. You know what I mean? The fact that Constitution Hill is in the champion hurdle picture, he had no choice but to go Arkle. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I'll go another one. I'll go with same owner. I'll go with Salvatore Mundi for the Supreme Novices next year. Yeah.
Oh, this is the kind of Sergino form.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
We haven't seen Salvatore Mundi yet.
No. And I'd say if you do, he won't be winning anything anyway by the sounds of it. You know what I mean?
But you must be hearing nice things, are you?
But sure, his form is tied into Sergino, beating Nottingham by a race in France, and I'd say he's a smart horse now, you know.
So what are you putting him into the Supreme?
Supreme, yeah, definitely, yeah. Because there's a good chance he mightn't run at all. Like, if he does run, it will be in probably a grade 1 punches town or something like that where he won't be involved. And I'd say he's dangerous now in a race like the Supreme, yeah.
And I suppose they probably, even if he doesn't run this year, they probably won't let him run the Triumph Hurdle next year, will they? No.
Can he do that? Oh yeah, he's 5 years of age, sure. He'd be too old. Yeah. Yeah. He could run in the Mayor's Novice. Yeah. He could be identifying. He could be identifying as Salvatore Mary.
Okay, speaking of mayors and speaking of the Mayor's Novice Hurdle, I'm hoping Dice Sardinos obviously wins the Mayor's Novice Hurdle this year, but next year I'm going Turners,
right? And
I'm going brighter days ahead for the Turners. Shattered Love won the race for Gigginstown and Gordon Elliott a couple of years ago. Look, she is chasing written all over. She looks like she's going to be a star when she sees a fence, and gorgeous attitude. I just think maybe potentially, but the way they're talking about her, she can't be beaten in the Mayor's Novice Hurdle, but potentially, you know, that speed test could catch her out potentially in the Mayor's Novice Hurdle. Maybe it won't. But next year, 2.5 miles on the new course at Cheltenham, I think it'll be made for brighter days ahead. So I pick brighter days ahead for the Turners next year? And I actually have a good record in this question, Johnny, because I think I picked, when this question came up last year,
Right.
my first tip, I think, for this year's Cheltenham Festival was Ballyburn for the Supreme.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
No
Not so
good to me. I
bad.
didn't pick him this year.
All right. Okay.
So there you go. Good question. If it was the first show of the new series, I would be picking Brighter Days Ahead for the Turners Novice Chase, and Johnny Dineen would be on Sergino for the Arkle and Salvatore Mundi for the Supreme Novice Hurdle. There you go. That's the 2025 Cheltenham Festival. It's performance of the week time here on Up in the Ante, where Johnny Dineen counts down his top 3 performances of the last 7 days. Take it away, Johnny. Number 3.
3, I went with Largy Hill in that Michael Purcell race down in Thurles.
Yeah, Staffordshire Knot was disappointing.
Staffordshire Knot ran poorly, I think it did anyway. And Staffordshire Knot, to me, showed a bit of a few old tendencies that I wouldn't be mad about anyway myself. I just thought he was running in snatches, even very early on in the race. You wouldn't like to be on him, in my opinion.
Looks a stare, does he?
He looks a stare, but it's like Largy Hill had won 3 Mile in Mallow at the same time. He's a stare as well, you know what I mean? Like, put it this way, on the back of what I saw in Thurles, I wouldn't back Staffordshire Knot to beat Largy Hill in any track anyway. And I fellas were saying it's Thurles and they probably went, maybe it didn't suit him. But Largy Hill is a horse that had run 2.5 mile bumpers, had won a 3 mile maiden hurdle down in Cork. Wasn't guaranteed to be suited by Thurles either, and beat him out the gate, in my opinion. Anyway, and beat him comprehensively. Like Staffordshire Knot was lucky to be second, even and like diving at hurdles and throwing himself left and all this kind of stuff. I thought it was a poor effort though from Staffordshire Knot myself. Largy Hill, I didn't actually think he was quite as good as I think he dismissed them horses out of hand anyway. Like he's not going to go to Cheltenham, and you'd imagine that he'd probably turn up in the 3 mile novice hurdle in Punchestown. He could be dangerous in the 2. Could be. I like him now, Largy Hill. He's a horse that's improving, and like if you paid 500 long ones for Staffordshire Knot, you would be overly happy, would you?
Okay, so that's number 3, Largy Hill. Number 2?
Number 2, Fernie Hollow. I went with Fernie Hollow. Like,
Well,
look, it was a smooth performance from a horse that was off for 2 years. Like it's a real pity that he can't be trained properly, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean, that he's so brittle, because he had a lot of ability. Like, okay, he was getting £9 off Estuary Meadow, and you'd say if he was giving him 19, you'd nearly fancy him, wouldn't you? Not mind getting 9, but okay, he was well in by the conditions of the race, and he didn't do anything that you would be surprised with. But if you did back him, and he was short, he finished up very short from like 4 to 5 to 2 to 5. I think even if you backed him at 4 to 9 or 2 to 5, you never ever thought he was going to lose.
has Fernie Hollow more natural ability than El Fabiolo or an Energumen?
That's
question,
a hard
isn't it?
question
It's a good
to
one.
answer. Yeah,
Should have sent that into the show.
Yeah, look, it's hard when they're probably not going to take each other on. Or maybe in Punchestown would for any.
Just answer for the crack anyway.
I would say no to El Fabiolo anyway. Whatever about Energumen, yeah. But he's a smashing horse though, a really good horse, really classy horse, and a really good 2 mile chaser, can go from the back or the front, it don't really matter, and jumps well and did everything right. Like, I think it was a good training, another good training performance from William Mullins, and
Can train that fella, can he?
he's not too bad, yeah. But it was a smooth effort, and I think just the way he won, if you, as I said, if you did back him, you were never ever getting beat, in my opinion, anyway.
Okay, so if Fernie Hollow was number 2, Johnny Dineen, numero uno must have been a fair performance to knock Fernie Hollow off the top spot. So who is your number 1 this week?
Number 1 for me was William Money. He won the bumper in
good.
Naas. That was quite impressive, wasn't it? Very impressive,
very
in fact.
impressive.
Yeah.
Beat Say to Chance at Navan.
Yeah, I'd say that's good form. I'd say to Chance is a decent horse now, you know. Like, I'd obviously, you don't have to be a genius to work that one out, but like, Say to Chance, that was a good, and Say to Chance was coming back to nearly nail him. Your man stuck his head out again, so he can fight as well as travel well, and he was. I couldn't get over how big a price he was. I know
13 to 2.
He was bigger than the machine even. It's like heading for 8 or 9 to 1.
Did you have a little nibble?
I had a tiny bet in them, but at a bad price. I thought like 6 to 1 was a great price. Not to mind what we was afterwards.
Actually, you can't be greedy. He won.
I know he
Be
did.
thankful
Yeah,
for what you got.
I didn't have enough on him, and I didn't.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
And I didn't back him at the right odds either. So
Yeah.
so look.
You didn't marry the right woman. You're living in the wrong house. Your wallet is too tight for your 50s, and your diamond shoes are too tight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So look, good horse though, William Money. The good horse, and we'll go to Punchestown now. Like, he's by Western. He's a 6-year-old, so I said don't be hanging around the bumpers anyway. So he'd go hurling next season.
And I love the way Barry Conlon straight away was like, I think he's the best bumper horse in Ireland, and he goes to Punchestown and he's going to take a lot of beating. Like, I love that.
Yeah, well, Barry doesn't play him down anyway, does he?
No, he doesn't. But I kind of like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well,
we've enough
exactly.
playing down in
yeah,
this game.
that's true. Look,
if it's a hypothetical question, if he had have said right, he's going straight to champion bumper, he'd be. I know he was put in at 20s and 16s afterwards, but he was backed initially before the comments came out. Would you have given him a chance in the champion bumper?
William Money, if there was a sufficient gap, like I think when he ran there, you knew he wasn't going to Cheltenham bumper.
2.5 weeks, he's a bumper horse. Like, do you know
I
what
think
I mean?
it's not enough at the same time.
Is it not?
No, I wouldn't have fancied it anyway.
What's the world coming to like?
I think
do you know what I mean? 2.5 weeks of a break for a bumper horse that's only had 2 runs. Surely he'd be all right.
I just think that they take a bit out of them coming up the hill in Naas. It wouldn't have been an ideal prep, I think, anyway. But if it was 4.5 weeks, say, I would have said he'd be probably favourite.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Punchestown will be a different story because you'll be running against probably the horse that won the bumper in Cheltenham, and that'll be a good test of how good he is. But he'll definitely be on the premises in that race, yeah.
Okay, yeah, interesting. So there you go. William Money, very impressive in the bumper at Naas on Sunday, is Johnny Dineen's performance of the week. It was better than Fairly Hollow. That was William Money. That was his performance of the week. But where was your Eyecatcher of the week running?
Look, it was more an unlucky loser than an Eyecatcher as such. I mean, it was faulty in Punchestown.
Faulty. Poor. The owners of Faulty, you have to say, they've been awful unlucky, really. Because I'd say it would have won if it didn't slip up at Punchestown the last time it was there.
Yeah. Yes,
jumped any of the last 2 hurdles right at all, it would have won the other day.
It fell in 2 points as well.
Oh, did it? So it's obviously not a coincidence
it's an excellent prone character, but it looks of it, but he has, it should have won in Punchestown, okay? But it was off a year to the exact day. It was a full year off to the exact meeting, turned up again.
Must have been the same race, sure.
Yeah, I would have probably was. It probably was. You'd say he has to win a maiden hurdle. Like, he has to, because not on top of having form tied in with the likes of King of Kingsfield, Westport, Cove, Firm Footings, them kind of horses who are reasonably good horses. They're 130 horses. He's no penalty for winning the bumper or nothing. So if he was down the country, he'd be getting £8 off horses. Like, once he stays right, you'd have to say he'd nearly have to win next time out,
He's going to make a nice chaser, I think, because he doesn't give his hurdles respect.
Yeah, well, he didn't in the point of pointed because he fell at both of them, 2 of them. So maybe he's one of those horses that will clean you out too and fall and do all sorts of stuff.
Do you think he might be a bit faulty?
Mr. Basil
the
faulty,
worst joke ever.
Yeah, look, maybe he's one of there are horses like that get chances and they don't take them and they come back and they bite you, keep biting you until you eventually say, I've enough of bites. Okay. You know, so look, he should win a race though. He's entitled to win a maiden hurdle at the very minimum.
Okay, there you go. Johnny Dineen's Eyecatcher of the week is faulty. So it's what's happening this week time here on Upping The Ante, where we preview 5 races on Saturday, live in front of the ITV cameras. Johnny Dineen, we'll kick off at Newbury. We'll look at 2 races there first. Veterans Handicap Chase first, Johnny Dineen, the race you hate the most in life.
No, I look at it and it's...
You're not a veterans man.
No, I tell you, I didn't like the card in Newbury at all. No. And I love Newbury Racecourse and it's great. There's all normally good racing, but it's the exact opposite of what I'd like anyway. 5 handicaps, a veterans handicap and a mayor's bumper. I couldn't think of a more unappealing programme anyway of a Saturday. That's one I won't be getting heavily involved in. I'll go with Copperhead here, but...
Doesn't win races, does he?
No, he likes running around alongside him and with him and that kind of stuff. But he's got young Ginger is going to ride him. Yeah. And even though he's 10, I think he's nearly the youngest horse in the race. You know what I mean? They're all 11s and 12s. I don't know. Like you couldn't have a major play in this race. I'll go with him. And I just checked the early prices. He was favoured, which I thought was surprising. No, I didn't think he'd be short as he is. He'd be a very tokenish wager for me anyway. To be honest.
Same as that. I'll go with also beginning with C. I'm going to go with Commodore for Venetia Williams, who every so often, every season, just throws up a remarkable performance from the front and has gone well fresh in the past. So I'm going to chance Commodore in that. Moving on to the Great Wood Gold Cup, a big competitive handicap, a race that Paul Nichols has a really good record in, and I like Can Do Kid here, who was disappointing last time, very disappointing. But I think back at Newbury, he won there in December off Marco 129. He's up £11 to 140. I think that form, beating Frero Bamboo that day, I think that's reasonably solid form. And I just think he might be you get these horses that just are Newbury specialists, like in Can Do Kid, flat track, long home straight, Potentially Harry Cobden will be riding him. I thought Can Do Kid was a big player.
Yeah, he's a chance. Yeah, he is a chance. He didn't
Chance,
run
that's
great.
your word of the day, Johnny. Another chance?
Yeah, he has a good chance. So
Chance.
yeah,
Oh, sorry, good chance.
yeah. Look, he wouldn't. He did run poorly the last day, so he has to
did.
bounce back from that. I went with high stakes player, just as a horse that's seemed to come alive over fences. I think he's unbeaten, 3 from 3 over fences. Didn't go up much for winning in Kempton. I think he only went up 3 or 4 pounds. And even though he won by a small margin, I thought he won too snug. I think he's a horse that would keep finding when the horses come near him. And Lacey does well with chasers. I just think he's a good chance in a tough race.
Named after yourself, Johnny.
Yeah.
High stakes player. 3 races we're going to preview at Kelso, and it is the Bet365 sponsored card at Kelso as well. I'm sure Pat Cooney and all the guys at Bet365 will be in Kelso on Saturday. So we'll kick off with the Bet365 Premier Novice Hurdle, Johnny Dineen. And Django Boy is in here, early favourite?
Yeah, Django Boy is a clear form pick. If he turns up here, you'd have to fancy him, really. I get mixed up with him in Jinko Blue.
I know.
Yeah, I was looking at Jinko Blue for the Supreme or something. And I thought it was Django Boy, but it's not.
Django Boy is the Grade 1 winner.
Yes. Yeah, and Jingo Blue is the handicapping horse that won in Sandown. Yeah, but Django Boy will win this if he turns up.
Yeah.
I was having him in this order: Django Boy, Personal Ambition, Ben Pauling.
That has a chance.
Oh, big chance. And Al Nalam is the is the horse. If these two don't turn up, he won very, very easy there the last day. And the rest of them are much of a much. But Django Boy is a clear form pick. He's like, I saw 5 to 2 it. Like, if you knew it was definitely running, like that's a robbery, 5 to 2 anyway.
Okay. The Bet365 More Battle Hurdle, Johnny Dineen. This is a race with an illustrious roll of honour. Who's going to add his name to it this year?
Look, I look down through these. They're weak enough in it now. There's plenty of northern horses that are exposed, under control. Even though she has 11-13.
Yeah, she looks the one.
She's the horse to beat anyway. Yeah, she is. Like, if she's have any pretensions to doing stuff in Cheltenham, she should be taking care of these. She had a lot of weight though. She had a lot of weight at the same time. 11-13 is a big lump of weight for a mare. But she did run well against in them 2 Irish horses in Doncaster. Yeah, Asher Diamond, Gallagher. So, and like, she has faulty wind, I'd say, because I think they did a wind up on her or something like that. But her last run was fine, and if she performs to her best, she's a great chance.
Okay, that's Under Control. I agree. I think Under Control will take the world of beating in the Moore Battle. And moving on to the Bet365 Premier Chase. And this is a few old favourites in here, Johnny.
Yeah.
I like Eyeright. I think this is going to be Eyeright's big day.
Right. Yeah, he's running well. He's running well, yeah.
Eyeright,
he's running well, but he's shoving on too, Eyeright. And he's getting, I think, to me, he's more vulnerable to horses every day he runs. You know what I mean? He's even more vulnerable now than he ever was. And I think Monbeg Genius is a good thing here. Yeah, I would fancy it real strong, really strong. It's not going to Cheltenham, so this is its prep for the Grand National. And look, the weights are out for the Grand National, so it doesn't make any difference whether it wins or loses. And like, it's not an eternity away from the Grand National. So I just think Monbeg Genius is a horse on the up, and these are horses that are maybe stagnant or maybe even going in the opposite direction. Now, Eyeright is a very admirable horse, and he wears his heart in his sleeve or head, whatever they're saying, goes off in front.
You're right,
but
heart in the sleeve.
is it, yeah? But Monbeg Genius is a different class to these. I'd rate him in one of the better bits of the whole day anyway, to be honest.
Wow, so Monbeg Genius for Johnny Dineen in the Bet365 Premier Chase. Wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, like, look, the racing on Saturday is hard.
Yeah.
Gee, the racing on Saturday, I looked at, like, the racing everywhere is like across the board. It's not
So
very.
you wouldn't mind the young fellas playing football?
I'd referee a match on Saturday. If they're looking for one.
I can just imagine you in the middle.
Fitting into me togs, yeah. Big bar, big
Johnny,
belly.
don't women will be just to be sweating watching this programme.
The big crowd of that match,
Don't
wouldn't
be
it?
putting images in their head. So Johnny Dineen is going to referee an underage match at the weekend. What do they play? It's soccer.
Soccer at the weekend, yeah, but it could be Gaelic starting now as well. You know, I mean, soon, yeah.
Okay.
The Gaelic's off for the winter, but it'll be coming back on
back.
soon. Yeah.
So there you go.
But I could referee either code now.
Multi-talented, versatile he is. Our very own Michael Oliver. But he's not too interested in the racing on Saturday, but he is very keen on Monbeg Genius in that big race at Kelso on Saturday. Best of luck to everybody at Bet365 at Kelso on Saturday. It's midweek 3 time now on Upping The Ante. And Johnny, you've been spoiling us again. More Ferrero Rocher. Leader in the park last week.
Yeah, that won anyway, thanks be to God. Yeah,
and it won very easily, Johnny.
Well, I think you were never overly unhappy anyway back in it. You know
what was
I mean?
the biggest price he was?
I saw 13 to 8 the night before, and then into 11 to 8. But freely 11.
Did you get a bit of odds
No,
against
11 to 10. Yeah,
11 to 10.
Yeah.
Well done.
But it finished up like it was hammered in the finish, wasn't it? Yeah, hammered.
And Leader in the park bolted up. So what have you got for us this week in your midweek treat section?
Nothing tomorrow. I went with a horse on Thursday. It looks a 2-horse race. Living on Luco. It's running against a horse called Jackpot the 2, a horse belonged to Harry Cobden. I'm not a fan of Jackpot the 2 now. I'm going to chance the sort of to beat him. It looks a 50-50 kind of a race.
Where's the race and what
in
time?
Taunton, 3:15 in Taunton. It's a novice hurdle, and he's a horse that they just put the cheek pieces on him as well. Living in Luco, that could help him. He won a race there in Chepstow where I think the Bonneville wasn't able to ride his horse properly, and a horse belonged to the Holdens, Henderson in Chepstow, and I think he stood himself down after that race. I'm sure the Bonneville and. Look, your man was probably fortunate winner, but he has a penalty, but so has Jackpot the 2 at the same time. So they're the same weight. I think they've even the same rating.
Yeah.
But I've a feeling Living on Luco would be a tougher proposition when it comes to it than Jackpot the 2. I'd fancy him strong, yeah.
Fancy him strong. Living on Luco is Johnny Dineen's midweek treat in the
3:15 in Taunton on Thursday.
3:15 on Taunton on Thursday. Living on Luco is the midweek treat. And Johnny Dineen, not only did you get your midweek treat up, but you got your charity bet up last week with Lump Sum, who produced a good performance.
Yeah, he did. He was ridden from patiently, and I suppose he didn't do much more than he did in Doncaster. He got like more or less the same kind of form line as Doncaster, and that was good enough to win. I had something on him, not a fortune. I had about half what I was going to have on him. And I just saw him lining up out the back, and I don't like them ones. And I said, I have enough on him now, I'll leave it off.
You had a lumpy enough sum on him.
I had enough. I didn't know I didn't a big bet in him at all, really. I intended to have more on him, but like if he'd have been slightly more prominent, I would have pressed up, but I didn't. And
God, you're unbelievable, aren't
you? I know.
They have to be just up there.
Well, I don't like the ones dropped down.
Did you ever in your whole life ever back Archibald?
No.
Or Rooster Booster? You probably back Rooster Booster today. Went out in front, did you?
I'm not sure now, but Rooster Booster could make the running too, couldn't he? In races,
about,
yeah. I'd say the day Archibald caught him now, I'd be probably on him that day. But I'm not a fan of horses ridden like that, and I'm not a fan of jockeys that ride like that either.
Okay.
To be honest, so I didn't back Paul Carberry a lot, to be honest.
So Johnny has taken the lead off me. I thought I had an unassailable lead in this charity bet competition, but I don't, because I'm on plus 125, but Johnny has waltzed into the sunset, plus 212.50 thanks to Lump Sum, 50 quid at 7 to 4 you got. So what have you got for us this week, Johnny?
I'm going to go with Monbeg Genius in the 325 in Kelso. I think that has a huge class edge over those horses myself. And I know it's a prep and he's not going to be gunned to high heaven, but I still think he'll win at the same time. And those, they're not the hugest, the stiffest of fences there. That would be no harm to me. He's tried to rub one or two, you know what I mean? So I just think around there he'll have too much for those horses.
Okay, there you go. It's Monbeg Genius at Kelso on Saturday for Johnny, and I'm going on Thursday this week, okay? Because it's a horse that's in my tracker who I actually put up on this show back in November. I think it was almost my very first pick or second pick in this charity bet competition. Rather stinker that they overheard. It's a horse called PlaceNet that's trained by David Pipe. Ran that day terribly in November. Didn't run since, and then came back at Sandown a couple of weeks ago in a long distance handicap chase. And I actually thought he ran far better than the distance he was beaten. He got very tight. I don't think he stays 3 miles. All his form in France is over shorter. And I said that day after Sandown, I said next time, if to get him on a flat track over shorter, that he's going to have a massive chance. So he's in Wetherby over a much shorter trip. He's got top weight, so he's got a bit of a class edge in the race. The handicappers dropped him £5 for that run at Sandown. And I thought it was a real likeable run, like kind of leaving the back straight. You're kind of going, God, he actually has a chance. And he was a massive drifter from about 7s out to 16s that day. If he can't win this or he can't be competitive in this, he's going to really struggle in his career.
He'll be out of your tracker.
He will be out of my tracker, yeah. But I'm going to chance PlaceNet in the 4 o'clock at Wetherby on Thursday. I think the track is perfect. I think the trip is perfect. The ground will be perfect. No excuses for PlaceNet. Hopefully he has a class edge and he'll be a bit of a price too. So it's PlaceNet for me on Thursday and there's Monbeg Genius for Johnny at Kelso on Saturday in our weekly charity bet competition. So that is it, folks. That is it for week 17 of Up in the Ante, with thanks to our sponsors, Bet365. Nearly there, Johnny. And this week is prime preview night week. This is Johnny Dineen when you are at your most popular. Everybody can see you. Everybody wants you. Everybody wants to take a picture with you.
Say that,
everybody
no.
wants your autograph. You're like the male version of Margot Robbie this week. Everybody wants to be.
I wish I was looking like Margot. No, she. Oh, mother of God.
But you are busy. You're popular. You're in demand this week.
Few this weekend and busier the next week. You know what I mean?
Right,
Busier next week. So no, a few this week. Not too many of them this week. No, so not so bad.
And tell me this: when you say to Susan, your other half, that you've got all these preview nights, is she disgusted because you're not at home, or is she delighted that you're gone?
I'm going to bring her and a few of the small ones with me this weekend now. You know.
Might I actually get to meet?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Friday night if you want to. Yeah. And a couple of small ones. Yeah. So.
A couple will I mind them for a few hours?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So she's coming. She's coming to a preview this week.
She's not going to preview, lad, but she just hang around the hotel. You know
she won't come to
watch? Not at all. No interest in that sort of stuff. But no, she'll be messing around with the kid. But it'll be probably nearly bedtime for the kids by the time we get there anyway.
True.
So
that's true. Okay. Well, very
we
best
do
of luck.
the shopping Saturday and that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Okay. So there you go. Best of luck with all your previews. But you will be back next week, and we have a special for you next week, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we're going to be back here as normal next Tuesday night at 6 o'clock, as normal, as we are every week. But later in the week, we're going to have our Cheltenham Festival preview, our proper Cheltenham Festival preview with Johnny Dineen and Gary O'Brien from Racing TV. Of course, the two best judges in Irish racing, side by side, previewing all 28 races within an hour. I'm going to keep it within the hour this year, Johnny.
Yeah.
Within the hour, Johnny Dineen, Gary O'Brien next week, live in front of your very own eyes. So 2 shows for you next week. God.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to Gary. Yeah.
Everybody.
What? I should listen. Yeah, as I said, it's only 1 or 2 weeks in the year anyway, so
absolutely,
it'll be over soon enough, won't it?
It will be over soon enough. My thanks to you for joining us as ever, Johnny Dineen. We'll be back next Tuesday, same time, same place, 6 o'clock. Until then, I've been David Jennings. He's been Johnny Dineen. Thanks for watching episode 17 of Up in the Ante.